I can't believe they want us to go outside the house to find Vale. You look like the traveling sort. In your excursions, have you perchance come upon a young dark elf named Vale? She went missing a couple of weeks ago and her father desperately seeks any information regarding her whereabouts. That's a shame. Her father, Eris, the house councilor here in Balmora, promises that anyone who can find his daughter and return her safely to his side will be well rewarded. You should speak to Councilor Eris. He's opened the kin house to interview potential recruits. Freelancers, as it were. If you're interested, go speak to the councilor. The longer Vale remains missing, the more distressed Councilor Eris becomes. Councilor Eris can be found at the Redoran kin house, and do hurry. He's ever so troubled by our failure to locate young Vale. If he finds that an outsider can succeed where the houseguard has failed, so be it. I have no issue with Councilor Eris seeking help. It's where he's decided to get that help that concerns me. House Redoran doesn't need outsiders to take care of its business. But who am I to question a house councilor? How can anyone not know about House Redoran? Is this some sort of outlander ruse? Well, in that case, Redoran is the grandest of the great Dunmer houses. We champion the virtues of duty and piety, and we have a proud military tradition. Our house comes first in all things. I don't understand why Eris seeks outside help. If I knew what happened to the Councilor's daughter, I wouldn't be talking to you now, would I? As far as we can tell, she left of her own accord. There wasn't any foul play involved that we're aware of. Beyond that, you'd have to ask the Councilor. Councilor Eris Relith oversees Redoran operations in Balmora and the surrounding countryside. He's very influential, very powerful. Usually, the Councilor doesn't allow his passions to get the better of him. But Vale is his daughter, after all.
May I give service?
Yes? Is there something I can do for you, Outlander? My daughter has been gone too long, and the house guard can't seem to find a wall in the corner. But why should I trust you with this task? Tell me, Outlander, how can you succeed when my forces continue to fail time and time again? An interesting insight. Perhaps you can find my daughter. Vale can handle herself, but the father worries, you understand? Anyway, I agree with your assessment. That's why I'm willing to bring in outside help on this. Vale fled after a family disagreement. She's run away before, but I'm concerned that she might have something more permanent in mind this time, and more dangerous. Vale knows how to evade the house guard, but as you said, she doesn't know you. Captain Briven oversees the house's attempt to locate my daughter. You should speak to him and see what his investigation has already turned up. He's probably patrolling the town square at this time of day. Briven's soldiers have been trying to get information out of Vale's friends. But those young men and women are almost as good at avoiding the house guard as my daughter. That is a private matter. If your investigation proves fruitful, and such matters become relevant, we can discuss the particulars then, but not before. Like my daughter, my wife has a mind of her own. What the two of you discuss is your own affair. Just understand that I haven't employed you to solve my family's problems. I only need you to find my daughter. Vale has always been fascinated by the Morag Tong. Even admired one of their agents when she was growing up. It's possible she sought refuge with this agent, or even decided to join the organization. Though I hope I am wrong about that. The Morag Tong? They're an ancient guild of assassins sanctioned by the tribunal to carry out honorable writs of execution. Ostensibly, they're supposed to keep the houses from resorting to all-out war, but I still find the practice barbaric. Someone of no consequence, and not at all important to accomplishing your mission. Besides, you don't find Morag Tong agents, they find you. Just pray it's not because your name wound up on one of their writs. That is a death sentence.
I couldn't help overhearing your conversation with my husband. We share the same office, after all. Thank you for agreeing to look for our daughter. But know that Vale is headstrong. I say this from experience. I am her mother, after all. Important? I suppose that depends upon who you ask. My husband thinks so. I'm the treasurer here in Balmora. My job requires that I record all important transactions regarding Redoran finances and balance everything to the last gold piece. Councilor Eris, who oversees Redoran operations in the Balmora region. Our family is one of the most respected in the house. I'm surprised you haven't heard of us, wherever it is you come from. Now, if you don't mind, I have a lot of work to do. She stormed out of the house after a heated argument with her father. Nothing unusual in that. But when she didn't return, well, that's when both her father and I started to worry. I'd rather not talk about that. It's a private matter concerning the family. The relevant fact remains that my daughter took her most cherished possessions and left home. I'm worried that she's going to do something that can't be undone. As I said, Vale is headstrong, confident, perhaps too confident. She might join the Morag Tong just to spite her father, or run off to fight in the war, something reckless along those lines. Please do what you can and find my daughter.
Not now, Outlander. If you need some sort of assistance, go find one of the House Guard. You must be one of the freelancers the Councilor employed to supplement the duties of the House Guard. Very well. I'll tell you what I know. Vale ran away. Again. I hope you can succeed when my troops have failed. If anything happens to Vale... I've known the Relith family since I was a child. Vale is like a sister to me, and I'll do everything in my power to get her home safe and sound. Even trust an Outlander. We think her friends may know where she is, but they keep eluding us. Perhaps, as long as you don't get too close. They've been running notes of late. I think it has something to do with Vale, but the runners keep evading my guards. Look for a group meeting on the other side of town, and see if you can follow the note. When you find Vale's friends, remember to keep your distance. You just want to spot the note carrier and follow him to whoever's receiving these messages. That's the key to locating Vale. If you can't do it, don't worry. The house can handle it. Vea's a born warrior. Hard-headed, stubborn, a real pain in the ass. She can fight like an angry netch, though. I keep trying to get her to join the militia, and she always turns me down. That's not my tale to tell. If Councilor Eris or his wife won't speak of the troubles his family has had to deal with in recent weeks, maybe you can ask Vale, if and when you find her. We started to notice groups of young dark elves gathering in out-of-the-way parts of the city. One of my guards saw them pass a note between them, but they split up and she lost them in the back alleys. Could be a love poem or a recipe for Kwama cream cocktail. But we suspect it's the way Vale has been keeping tabs on what's been happening in the city. Look, it may amount to nothing, but the note could give us a lead on where to find Vale. Rivers. It's important. Just don't let House Redoran get their hands on it. If you think you're being followed, find a place to hide. Good luck.
I could use a break.
I'm quite busy, can't you see?
Hello, can I help you? Wait a moment. You're one of those hirelings House Redoran pays to harass us simple folk. Look, all Vale wants to do is to find out what happened to her brother. Too bad the house doesn't seem to care a swit about any of that. Vale wants nothing to do with the house or her father. Why can't any of you respect that? Even if I wanted to help, I haven't seen Vale since she snuck out of town. We communicate by notes, and this one isn't even about her. Well, if you must know, it concerns Vea's brother. He was an officer in the House Guard before he vanished without a trace. We've been trying to help Vea find him. A local tough, goes by the name of Ashur. He delivers the letters. We usually meet him outside of town to the northeast. But good luck trying to get any information out of him. Ashur is not known for his conversational skills. I think we're done here, don't you? I told you where to find Ashur. He's been passing our notes on to Vea. Just to the north and east, outside of town. Or is this your way of offering to save me a trip, since you're headed his way? Balmora's not that big. Most of the sons and daughters of the house leaders and prominent merchants know each other. Vea's one of us, and we'll do whatever it takes to help her find her brother. Well, within reason. And Vea would do the same for us. That's why we're helping her. She really is a terrific person. I'm not telling you anything, you Redoran lapdog. Sorry about that. I'm kind of on edge, if you hadn't noticed. Everyone knows Vea's brother. Or they did, before he disappeared. Ulran was an exemplary officer. Everything House Redoran could hope for. Vea won't rest until she learns the truth. She ran away because her father refused to give her a straight answer. She suspects he was involved in Ulran's disappearance. Or that he at least knows more than he's willing to say. Is it any wonder Vea decided to take matters into her own hands? You think I'm just going to tell you all our secrets, Outlander? Well, that's not going to happen. I won't betray Vea. All right. No need to get violent. Vea doesn't want her father to find her until she's located her brother, so we help protect her. That's why we set up the runners. Let the Councilor's hounds chase us, while Vea looks for Ulran. I'm sure Councilor Eris's intentions are good. He loves his daughter. Wants her back safe and sound. But what about what Vea wants? Her brother home safe, her father's honesty, the house looking out for its people and not just its precious honor?
You killed one of my gang, Swit. No writ will protect you from us.
Feeling left out? I'm sure I can procure a writ for each of you.
That's it! Kill the Morag, Tong, and any witnesses!
I'll just take my leave. No use getting my axes bloody again. I had that situation under control. Just needed them to make the first hostile move. Still, I cleaned enough blood off my axes for one day, so thanks for lending a hand. You were you? Was it Melissa? I told her I'd close out my tab after I completed another contract. That woman has the patience of an anxious Nyx. Well, tell her I'm good for it. I'll stop by and we can conclude our business cordially. Vea? The new apprentice? Now why in oblivion do you care about Vea? Are you now? And why do you want to do that? Never mind, I don't really care. I was asked to pass along some notes, but I'm not really the messenger type. I suggest you talk to Vea's mentor. Last I heard, she had a job in the Western Ruins. Make sure you don't anger Vea's mentor, or even look at her the wrong way. She's grown surprisingly protective of that young woman, and if she thinks you pose a danger... Besides, I'd hate to see you wind up on the wrong end of one of our writs. You know, the usual buyer's remorse. I see a lot of that in my line of work. Turns out, I had to kill a bad man who did bad things. The writ was legal and above board. Unfortunately, his brother didn't see it that way and was looking for revenge. Oh, you make it sound so obscene. Still, that's pretty much an accurate description. But it's not like I work for the Dark Brotherhood or anything. I don't kill anyone without a sanctioned writ. Keeps the great houses in line. It's a calling. I'd rather not. She's particular about her secrets, and I don't want to get on a bad side. You should keep that in mind too, if you plan to continue on this course. Vea's mentor usually sticks to the rules, but I wouldn't turn my back on her.
Leave me, Outlander. Let me die in the shame I've brought to Malakath. Defeated by a lone warrior. Malakath will laugh at our incompetence. An assassin. Probably a Morag Tong. She tracked our leader here. But she doesn't know. We set a trap inside the ruins. Oh. She's...
unusual moments, don't you, hero? Questions? I don't have time for questions. I have a writ to complete. Look, I can't keep these evil cultists waiting. You want to talk? Find me after I finish this job. You know, they really need to stop eating like this. Excuse me, hero. I have to see an orc about a writ.
I made a mistake.
A mistake? Well, that explains everything. I'll just let the Telvanni know. I'm sure Mage Virian will understand.
Oh, that's a relief. I thought for sure you were going to kill me.
I am. I hate when my leathers get wet. And this is a new outfit, too. Ah, well. I suppose we ought to discuss what you're doing here. I have to admit, when I saw you, I thought, what the tusk are you doing down here? Pardon my orcish. Did you really follow me across the continent? That shows commitment. Kind of creepy, but still a lot of commitment. Oh, that's not what I expected. But you can just turn around and leave. You're not going to find her. Veya's going through a difficult time right now, and the last thing she needs is some House Redoran lackey adding to her pain and confusion. I know you, hero. It's old man Eris I don't trust. He didn't tell you about Veya's brother, did he? How House Redoran exiled their favorite son? No? I didn't think so. Veya deserves answers, and I promise to help her. You need to just walk away. Outsiders? Is her father really that desperate? Look, tell Eris that Veya's safe and you'll see her soon, but no more outsiders. If my organization gets skittish, they'll return to the shadows and take Veya with them. They'll only deal with you. Well, it's not exactly a lie, and I don't want things to get out of hand. I'll arrange a meeting, provided Veya agrees. You let Eris know she's safe. Get him to stop hiring freelancers before someone gets hurt. I'll send word when we're ready. Ah, were you imagining a hot bath, a bottle of wine, and a secluded cottage with a roaring fire? Me too. Instead, we're up to our armpits in the usual muck and mire, just like old times. All this, and things are looking up for my organization, too. I suppose if you're in for a sliver, you might as well be in for the log. I'm with the Morag Tong, and what you witnessed was a legal murder. According to my writ, the orc had to die. So, I killed him. Now, if you don't mind, I need to get back to Veya. Veya and I have a history. Her brother, too. They were good kids. Liked to watch me train. Now I feel responsible for her. When she came to me looking for help and asked to join the Morag Tong, who was I to refuse? That was her decision, not mine. Veya's good with a blade and tracks like a Lord Ranger. She's a natural at this, and it gives me a chance to keep an eye on her. So now I'm her mentor and she's my apprentice. I wouldn't have it any other way. That was poetry in motion. Not only is my organization getting choice assignments again, but we're starting to recover some of our prestige. Specifically, these Malakath cultists interfered with House Telvanni, so they had to be dealt with. Oh, him? No one special. Just the leader of this particular band of mad cultists. His name was on the writ, so I had to end him. It's what I do, after all, and I do it so well.
I'm surprised to see you back here, but I'm also relieved. Does this mean you have news about my daughter? Is she safe? Is she ready to come home? Veya join that cult of assassins? I was afraid she'd do something rash, but what was she thinking? I don't see the Morag Tong as safe, but at least she's still alive, so I suppose that's something. When are we going to meet with my daughter? She won't meet with me? No, I suppose she's not ready for that quite yet. As for Veya's brother, that was all the doing of the Redoran Council. I'm not allowed to discuss the details, but he's still alive, if that's what Veya is worried about. Naryu's back in town? She's as stubborn as Veya. Very well. No other outsiders, although I can't dismiss the mercenaries that Captain Brithen employs. House Redoran is my life, as is Vale. I'll do everything in my power to see her home safely. As you say, no other outsiders. But there are rules, Outlander. I must do everything within reason to maintain the honor of House Redoran. Here, your first payment. Soon, however, I'll expect more than just a verbal confirmation of Vea's safety.